Spring Moon Turtle just resubscribed for 20 months. Imagine having 11% of a plan. Like some kind of super genius.
Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, whatever the case may be. Welcome to my stream. I'm Zero One. Thank you for joining me. And it might be nice if I, switched over to my correct sources. So, there. Minecraft. That's what we're doing tonight. And I actually have an idea of a plan, courtesy of Spring, who was watching a few different videos on Minecraft today when I got home from work. And so I have an idea about what I'm going to do tonight in my private little Minecraft world. And so, without any further ado, let's go ahead and get to it. So, hopping right on in. What I saw in one of her videos was someone. Let me find the door. Um, Basically was building a whole little hideout sort of place, home in a cliffside, well, a ravine. And so, what I figure what I might do is kind of copy that a little bit. Long time ago, Spring and I had in a online on somebody's server, we had a nice little house that was built into the side of a of a ravine or a cave that had a nice lava floor and was protected and was quite nice. Hey, it was your idea. Yeah, you did. And so I'm giving you credit, Spring. Credit. Nothing to blame you for. But what I think what I will do is build something like right over there. Um, it'll probably be like a super smelter room and some storage maybe with a rail, a rail line going underground to either over to my mine over there or over this to a basement, maybe both. That's right here. I'm not really sure yet, but the first step is going to be to hollow out something over there. And so we're going to need a lot of equipment. But first, since it's getting dark, Spring thinking I'm blaming her. I'm giving her credit. Credit for good ideas. And it wasn't even her idea, technically. She wasn't doing the work in the videos, obviously. Hey, what are you doing up here? But, I'm giving her credit where credit is due, and I thought she might appreciate that. But I guess not. I'll just, go mind my own business. Eventually, we're going to need to have, but just stop pushing me, you sheep. We're going to need to have some powered rails and other rail. But I'm just trying to figure out what I'm going to need for now. Don't need cobbled deep slate. Definitely don't need gravel. Don't need andesite or leather. Redstone will come later. I'm getting bullied by a sheep again. Alright. Get some more cobblestone. Take some more logs out. Because we're going to need sticks. Alright. Can't believe she thought I was blaming her. She had good ideas and watched people with good ideas. And so, no blame. No blame to be had at all. Alright, let's take some of this stuff back upstairs. If the sheep lets us. Alright, for now, don't need a bow or crossbow or arrows. The bones can go in there too. How am I doing on torches? Yeah, I need more torches. Fifth. Yeah, I'm not going to be mean to Lucky. I'm just saying he needs to stop pushing me around. I'm a grown person. I don't need to be pushed around. At least not by a sheep. Alright, so what I kind of want to do is, if possible, line it up with the, at least mine entrance there. So will that meet at any point over here? Across our little land bridge. I'm getting off target, I know, but yeah, I guess this is good here. What I'll eventually do is take up a whole bunch of stone and line the tunnels with stone. But first, we just need find where we want our access points to be and overlooks. Oh, hey, coal. We'll just take all this real quick. What I'll probably do as well is, after I get all of this built out, is do a little terraforming to hide the tunnel completely underground. Or at least the railway completely underground. And what I'll do is basically have a mini sorter over here that will take the coal and feed it into furnaces while turning any ores and feed them into the furnaces on the other side. And if I feel particularly risky, what I may do is actually build 3 different types of furnace. Blast furnace, well, super furnaces. Blast furnace, smoker, and regular furnace. So that all of that gets sorted out to the best and most efficient means possible. And then feed it back into a minecart that brings it back over to a nice chest where, poof, everything will be stored. think I'll go a little bit further in and then turn that way, which is, I think, west? East. And pierce the outer wall over here. This is more for aesthetic reasons than actual use. Just so I have another lookout post, more or less. Or another entrance into the base. Yeah, perfect. Now, part of the problem is I think I'm still well above the cave over here. Get an estimate. We're currently at block 8, well, 80Y. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go down a bit if I'm gonna hit that at least. Because I kind of like to have a balcony hanging off the side in there. So, oh no. Saw another pillager, I do believe. Yep. I'll take that hit. Any others? Anybody else with you? Yeah, a couple more. Come here, you two. Get my other steel sword ready. Hey. Thinking pillagers. Enjoy your shower. And hi, Demi. Yeah, we'll be going down there into that nice little pit, the cave. That's part of my plan. My 11% of a plan. I'll be building a smelter of some sort. Down into the deep, dark wastes. Now let me dump this out. Seems to me that I have another jar of the ominous stuff. It is amazing, isn't it? Spring did a great job. Let's see. Cobblestone? No, no, no. Wait a second. I already had a banner in here? Anomalous bottles. Okay, they do stock. Or stack. Ooh. Battlement 5, 4, 2. Neat. I didn't know they had different levels. And I certainly didn't know they stacked. Okay. I didn't think I had a place where I could toss the seeds, but maybe I didn't. Yeah, put them in there for now. See, my little tunnel is going to try to build down into some part of that cave and just hang out onto a balcony where I'll have my smelter and other things. Or maybe I'll dig a nice little tunnel down to a balcony after I get the whole smelter together, or at least the smelter room together. But let's see. Where are we? Okay, so like 349. 346. All right. So we know at the very least we need to go over to 346 with our little tunnel. And then we can figure everything else out. Everything else out. Excuse me. I don't know if you heard that sneeze or not, but that one hurt. I said light there. And we'll have a railway going over to our mine and probably under our house where I'll build a basement access, maybe a auto sorter eventually. To store pretty much everything that I smelt or cook. Okay, we should be over the cave. Didn't mean to screenshot that, but meh. I don't know how far down we actually have to go. But we'll find out. All right, we're at 66. Let's try a little tunnel that way. Shouldn't be too far of it if we're at the right level. If we're not at the right level, we'll go a little further than 345. And I think, oop, maybe. Nope, nope. All right, so we got to go down further. What am I thinking? What am I trying to do? I don't know what I'm trying to do. I don't know what I'm thinking. Okay. All right, I hear water flowing, which may be a sign that I'm over near the little waterfall I created to get up and down. Maybe. And dripstone is a good sign too. Eerie noise. Thank you. All right, let's go back up top. I don't know what the Z coordinate, maximum Z coordinate I should have been at. Would have been. For a second there, I thought it was a line of creepers there. I think what the water I was hearing was that water there. I think. Okay, 171. So not quite where I want. 179 by 351 will get us to this cavern. Or rather, opening, the ravine, the whatever. Forgot I have a bed on me. $214, so we're way in. And right here we are 207, 333. which puts us, I think, on the far side of the ravine, maybe. And that 207 means that the water we hear is not the water I thought it was. First goal, I guess, is to find the cavern I'm looking for. Preferably without skeletons. Hmm. Direction am I facing? South. Hmm. Alright. Let's try this way. Which should be east. Yeah. If I'm on the far side of the ravine now, which I think I am, the cave should be just up ahead. Unless I'm still not low enough. Is it possible that I'm still not low enough? Yes. But I don't think that's the case. But then again, I'm back at 364, so I don't know. You know what? I'm gonna go to sleep. Just because. Maybe I'll take another approach at this. Okay. 347, 214, 80. Because what I can always do is just replace these blocks. Didn't expect to find another cave here. Or maybe it did. I don't remember. But I should come out above ground over here in the not too distant future. Yeah, pretty much where I expected. All right. I am actually already below ground, which is good. Even if I am not quite where I expected to be. Alrighty. I don't really think that'll be a thing, but we'll keep an eye out. Alright, we're gonna do a gamble, I guess. Round 60 something. Yeah, that is true. So 67 or so. Uh-oh. Yeah, friendos down here. A lot of friendos. I don't even know what that sound was. I'm not nervous. You are. Alright, we're back in our tunnel. Right now it's just me. This is in my single player world that I set up just for stream. Although Spring has been popping in on occasion to actually build the house and things like that. This is true. At least it's not hardcore Spring. That's 59. So we should be kind of seeing the opening. That's south. This would be west. Okay, so if I'm on this side of it, I'm still on the east side of that ravine and cavern. If I am, then this is the direction towards the cave. Yeah, Spring wanted to make a rainbow sheep and a pretty house. She was very, very disappointed in what I had built for myself, which was basically just a very simple habitat. And so she insisted upon joining my world and building me a new house. Because she knows I'm not a builder. And so she wanted to do better. And she did. She did a marvelous job. Okay, 314. Yeah, 314 has to be way over there. Which means somehow, some way, I completely bypassed the cavern. So yeah, I'm way over here. Back there somewhere. Alright, I guess we continue to fanoodle. Hey, Krim, how's it going? I'm not too bad here, other than doing my usual terrible job of managing position in Minecraft. I'm well, I'm kind of lost, but I'm not lost. I'm just not digging to the right spot, apparently. Okay, facing north. Hmm, 347. Alright, what happens if I dig this way? Facing south. In my head, I should be parallel with the cavern. Hey, Dragon, how's it going? Get some rest. Not too bad myself. Ah, excuse me. I'm just digging holes and failing to find a huge cave, so, nothing major. Thank you. Alright, I hear spiders, which is promising, question mark? I feel like I should be in this stupid cavern by now. At least you're not a hardcore person either. I tried hardcore. I tried hardcore many times, as you know. Didn't quite work out for me. I should be in that stupid cave. I should be right in it. I suppose I could be too far back. Okay, facing north. All right. North is towards where the house is. And at this coordinate, I don't think I'm at the back or out of the cave. That was fairly deep cave. But by the same token, oh no. Well, good luck with that, piece dragon. I hope you don't lose your job, especially not this soon after getting it. But good luck with the interview. And yeah, Spring did drag me into Minecraft. Though to be fair, I was curious about it. Okay. So what I was hoping for was something over there, as opposed to over here. But, I'm not going to argue. You know, I knew he was down there, and I knew I removed access to it, to this spot. But he still scared me. Hmm. Well, see how the interview goes, see if you like the idea of it, and if you can work both jobs. It's a lot of work, a lot of effort, but might be rewarding. At least for a while. Alright. Even though this is our quickest entrance, I'm blocking that off. Alright. Yeah, just see whether you're not you like the new job. And if you do, see if you can work both for a little while. Make up your mind. I know that'll be a lot of long days, but You might decide, hey, you can do that, and that it works for you. If not, well, that's no big deal, and you can pick the better job between the two. I'll put this there to make sure I don't go falling off the edge. Spring, you were about to pull out a Pokemon game and play it. And yeah, Krem, working is overrated, but you gotta do it. Unless, you find yourself rich. Oops. Oh, good. You're very welcome, Dragon. And remember, while it's nice to have a job, no job is worth your life. Don't let any job kill you. We'll also put another block over here to make sure that, at least for the time being, nothing can just walk right in. But all of this does remind me, I do need an enchanting room. But first, more pickaxes. Aha. Alright, let's take this copper downstairs and smelt it. Blast furnace. $12 diamonds. I have enough diamonds and probably enough leather to, or even just blank books, to actually build an enchanting table if I go through the process of making myself some obsidian. Question is, do I want to do that? At least right now. It'll be useful, I guess, to be able to start enchanting and maybe put some endurance on some of these pickaxes and other things. But in general, I don't know. And do something about the copper bars. And silly, I put away all my cobblestone upstairs. For a second there, I thought I saw a creeper in here. No worries, Dragon. No worries at all. In fact, I'd say just go ahead and go to sleep. Don't even worry about watching. I know what it's like to have a long day. Have a good night, good weekend. I'll be back on Thursday with more Minecraft, so... Not Minecraft. Stardew Valley. I play that game, right? See you then. Rumor is I do play it, Grim. I think there actually was a Dark Crystal role-playing game. But Spring would be totally on board with that. I'm speaking for her on this matter. Alright. We're getting close to where I wanted to have my little balcony. And for the moment, this hollowed out area will work. For the moment. Haha, creeper, you can't get me. And just to be sure. Alright. We're significantly lower than I intended for the rails system. But that's okay. Maybe that's what I was thinking. He does. He could definitely help build a Dark Crystal role-playing game. At least in my opinion. Really? Okay, I wasn't nuts. I am hearing footsteps. Alright, so my goal is kind of to build on an upward trajectory or somewhere, or to hollow out upwards so that we can use the crossing area over there, or rather connecting area to above me, but still be underground. And all of this can be part of the sorting system and anything else I need. At least that's my idea. Oh, do it as fan service. Or rather, not fan service, but for the fans like yourself. And that happens. Lots of ideas for a lot of things are inspired by a lot of other people's work. Always has been, always will be. Okay. But what height are we at? See? Okay, so that's 72. I think we'll do 72. And right here, we're at 80. In fact, halflings in D&D are directly inherited from hobbits. Supposedly in the early editions of D&D, I'm talking about when it was first written out, they were still called hobbits. exactly. All right. So this is going to be the basis for our underground railroad, our literal underground railroad. Yep. There are very few original ideas anymore, but it's all about how you spin them and improve them. Not that you have to spin them or improve them, but that's usually the plan. Hang on. I'm going to need to write down some coordinates. That down and that down to prevent me from going those directions. All right. 355, 59, 188. May as well be 189. I'm always kind of curious about the various vampire spins. I mean, obviously, we've been living with the myth or legend of vampires for centuries. And aside from glittery vampires, they've generally been kind of interesting. Okay, 367, 73, 194. We're actually not that far apart. Hmm. Now that is an interesting idea. Yeah, I'm startled by that as well. I still remember the old days where it was at least a year before you got movies on VHS. At least a year. Okay, 188. Let's go over to 189. Spring said she saw something on our Android TV or Google TV, whatever you want to call it, that said Captain America Brave New World was actually coming to Hulu, like, if not today, then very soon, which is ridiculous considering it was just released last week. I mean, I know it wasn't the biggest opening of Marvel movies, but from what I understand, I thought it was doing moderately well from what I read. Not great, but moderate. I'd be very surprised if it uh, hit streaming services that soon. Haha. That's kind of what I was thinking, because when I did a quick look earlier, the only thing I saw was the special look um, at the movie. So I didn't see any actual advertisements that it was coming like today or tomorrow. But, times are changing, so. All right, so that'll be our balcony access. And I guess we can start building out our cavernous melting room here. From what I read, they the movie more or less is trying to cover all the ground from a number of different movies and the Falcon and the Winter Soldier TV series, and it's just doing too much in the time that it has allotted. Hmm. It could be spring. I think that there's a lot of problems with it. I mean, sure, I never thought it was going to be a top tier or an end game, Avengers end game. But I think part of the problem is superhero burnout in general. And I think another part of the problem is, I hate to say it, a fair amount of racism. I think there's a lot of hate on it because it's no longer Steve Rogers as Captain America. It's Sam whatever. Uh, Anthony Mackie. I don't like to say racism is the cause of all this failure, or sexism is the reason that X movie, the Marvels or whatever, failed, but there is that element to it. All right, so we're gonna have trains run on parallel stretches here. Yeah. There's just no pleasing some people right now. And like I said, I definitely think some of it is superhero burnout. But I don't know that all of it is superhero burnout. Hmm. Okay. This is going to be my access, and this is going to be the railroad. Then I actually need to build up and over the railroad for my access. I'd like to say I'm over superheroes. I definitely haven't invested as much as I used to. Like back in the 90s, I would have been all over the boys and all of those series, the Invincibles, or whatever it is, and so on and so forth. But, well, I mean, back in the 90s, I don't know if I said 90s or 80s, but I certainly would have been all over them, inhaling it left and right. And I'm not even remotely interested in the boys or the Invincibles. But I read comic books nonstop and fell in love with the X-Men, the Avengers, West Coast Avengers, and so forth. And so I still am very much into those. Well-meaning scheme. I think you can go away if spring hasn't already made you. Thank you, spring. All right, I'm still trying to figure out exactly what I'm going to be doing with this railroad. Because ultimately, I'm going to have it come in, feed an auto sorter, small one. So I need to go down at least one layer, probably multiple layers here. And then when it's done, feed a chest, say, right here. That will return everything. Oh, I used to have hundreds, if not thousands, of comics. I wasn't a huge investor. I only stuck with the X-Men and mostly Marvel. Well, I take that back. Most of the X-Men stories are branches and so forth I had. Excalibur, X-Force, X-Factor. I collected all of those. I didn't get into the New Mutants. I also was a Superman fan, and still am, and so I had a number of Superman comics, including the Death of Superman and uh, the Rise of the Superman miniseries across all the different books. But I lost all of those when I left my ex. So the only comics I have now are much more modern. And the reason I lost those is that they were put into the crawl spaces of her parents' garage when we moved in there after I lost my job in Silicon Valley. And I never had the opportunity to actually get up there back into that crawl space and try to get those boxes. They were just completely out of reach, and the only ladder my ex-father-in-law had was a rickety old one that was completely unsafe, in my opinion. And so, when I was actually packing up to leave and come back to the Midwest, I just left them, thinking, okay, I'll come back someday and get them. Never had the money to do so, never had the opportunity to, and eventually my ex pretty much sold everything I had left there. Probably the most underrated MCU movie, in my opinion, is The Marvels. A lot of people didn't like it, supposedly. I don't know. It from what I recall, once it actually hit streaming services and people started watching it, it started getting a much higher rating than it ever did in theaters, but by that point it was too late. That's fair. But most of the people who hated it never actually saw it. So, yeah, the villain was not great. I never heard of her before. But the action, in my opinion, was pretty decent. And the story wasn't bad either. Okay, let's see where we are with this. 362, 79, 115. Yeah, her family was great. Okay, so we'll definitely be going through that chunk there. Yeah, the problem with the Black Panther sequel was that it was so depressing, and for good reason. We lost Chadwick Boseman, and then they had to deal with his passing right off the bat, and it never really recovered from that. And then they further complicated it. Spoilers, in case anybody hasn't seen it, um, was the death of the Queen Mother. Further, more or less traumatizing for Shuri. I didn't hear about the problems with Namor, though Letitia Wright, excuse me, supposedly did have a number of issues. In particular, is her support for some controversial opinions, which she's allowed to have, frankly. Like, I heard she's an anti-vaxxer, and she's allowed to be an anti-vaxxer. That's her right. I don't agree with it, but it's her right. And if we're going to cancel people for having opinions, then somebody in the White House right now really needs to be canceled, but seems to be uncancelable. One second, I have to deal with Norton. I decided, you need to protect Chrome. I told you never to show me that again. Go away, Norton. Yeah, I hadn't heard any of that. So we probably will not be seeing Namor again. That's kind of the problem. He got to be very popular, particularly after Ragnarok. And I love Taika, and I didn't mind, honestly. Love and Thunder all that much, but they needed to reel him in a bit. Personally, I don't think it was the best of any MC movies, but I think it was probably the most fun. Certainly one of the ones where they had the most fun making it. Yeah, Ragnarok was, in my opinion, awesome. Possibly the best of the MC movies in the last... well, best of the non-Avengers MCU movies in the last 10 years. Taika got to have some fun with it, and it was well worth it. Hello, creeper. I may as well switch to my other sword. Oh, I thought Shang-Chi was pretty good. In general, I don't know anything about Shang-Chi. And my association with the Ten Rings has always been with the Mandarin. But I thought it was pretty good. Okay. 362, 115. $79. Okay, so I'm still above this spot, or rather, my rail line is below that point. I think that's the right way. Well, no, I think it's AWK, but I thought she was a lot of fun in that. I think she and Timu, or whatever his name was, Simu, were a great combination. And then you add Wong in there, popping up just randomly on occasion, and it was pretty good. I don't know where the zombie got his sword. I'll ask him next time if he respawns. Okay, so we were at about 363, 79, and 115. So basically, right up there is where we were. All right, so we're not that far from under the house. Yeah, he was a great cast for that. But I am lost and confused with regards to exactly who the Mandarin is in the MCU. Because, like I said, I'm more familiar with the Mandarin being a an Iron Man villain from the comics from way back. Not anything recently. And I don't know what the story of the 10 rings is if it's not 10 actual rings on his finger. Because as I remember it, admittedly, this is going back to cartoons in the 70s and 80s. His rings were actual rings, and each one had different powers. But to see it in Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, they are not rings that go on your fingers. Okay, guys, I got a better idea. Would you guys like some lava? I think you need some lava. I think so too, honestly. I think it's definitely a unique approach to it. But of course, there's also everything that was involved with Iron Man 3 and that version of the Mandarin, and having Ben Kingsley or whatever his character's name was come back for Shang-Chi was a spark of genius in terms of humor and irony. And I loved that aspect. But again, it's a little more complicated than it probably needed to be. and it doesn't quite explain everything. So, of course, he was the fake Mandarin, but now he's apparently actually tied to the real Mandarin, or at least the concept of the Mandarin. Partially by the Hail to the King um, short, which was funny. I know. You'd think he had better things to do. And a lot of people hated Iron Man 3, particularly for the bait and switch. But I thought that was brilliant. I did too. I saw it in 3D and bought it on 3D Blu-ray way back because I think that was one of the few cases where the 3D was cleverly done. He can be a jerk, but it doesn't mean he's not great. Mm, 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 mm. Once upon a time, I had a nice little lava pit where I could just throw stuff into. I so do not know how to make a banner, so I'm afraid I can't do that, Spring. You'll have to come back next week or something. So, this is my temporary disposal unit. I'm going to fill it when I need it, and otherwise deconstruct it when I don't. Yeah, I think I've made signs like twice in my life, so I can't do that. Here, I'll find my shears and put the wool in the chest for you. Shears sauce. Worcestershire sauce. Or do you still have my shears on you? I think you still have my shears. Fortunately, I have a little bit of iron on me and could quickly make those. There you are. Come here. Yeah, that's pretty much the truth. Making an underground mess is so much easier. There you are. Pink wool. Let me go out here and see if there's any more. You need 6, okay. I think that's fuchsia. Nope, magenta. Come on, eat grass. Ouch. I hope everything turns out okay. Alright. That should be enough pink wool for you. Da, da, da. Yeah, I don't see any iron. But what I do see is a bunch of copper. I'm sorry to hear that. That absolutely sucks. Hmm. Poisonous potato. We can get rid of that. What's that spring? I couldn't understand that. Yeah, I'm kind of having a disagreement with my usually rational and normal sister over some unfair things. And so I haven't talked to her in nearly a month now. Yeah, Viola does. All the time. Every meal she gets seems like The very first one she's ever had. I need more iron. A lot more iron. Well, my sister and I have been close, very close, for like the last, I'd say, 30 years. And she's normally very rational and reasonable and fair. But what she said a month ago just crossed a line with me. We have some older step siblings. Well, half siblings. It's almost been a month, yeah. But I hardly ever talk to them or deal with them. Partially because they hardly ever talk or involve me in any conversation. And so I just leave them be and they leave me be and we're all really kind of just separated. Don't feel bad, Spring. Not you. It's her. Let's see if we can find some iron. You are not the problem. That's a possibility. I don't know very many Taylor Swift songs, and probably couldn't name one if my life depended on it. Iron, please. Aha. Please helped. And that's fair. And easier to do when you have someone who actually likes Taylor Swift in the house. Neither Spring nor I particularly care for her. I don't hate her, mind you, it's just I wouldn't go out of my way to listen to her music. And even though I'm only partially a football fan, ever since she started dating Travis Kelce, I've hated how much she comes up. I've hated how much he comes up. And it just irritates me every time I'm sitting there watching football, hearing some football news, whatever, and they start mentioning her and him and drives me nuts. You'd think they were the only couple on the planet. Not there. Yep. But you know what? I won't care. Won't care when it's born. I won't care when it grows up. I won't care if it fails. I won't care if it succeeds. Just won't care. But you know who's gonna hear about it nonstop? Me. Because the news and media just won't leave it alone. But then again, I really don't care much for celebrities. Or at least not most celebrities. Indeed. I stopped honestly watching the Academy Awards years ago because it's just celebrities patting themselves on the back. And I feel the same way about the Grammys and the Golden Globes and all this other stuff. If I cared about award shows at all, I would possibly go with the MTV or VH1 awards because at least the celebrities themselves aren't the ones doing the voting or their agents and or secret representatives and so forth. They are, except for the stickies, I think it was. I am not terribly surprised that he does have that many children. But again, it's a case of I don't care. I kind of wish Elon would just drop off the face of the planet. The stickies are corrupt? Oh my god. I don't believe that for a second. They're the only ones that matter. They don't take bribes. At least not yet. I was hoping to find some more iron down here, but I don't think that's going to happen tonight. Always open to bribes, huh? Especially Hollywood bribes, perhaps? If they slipped you a few unreleased movies, would you weigh them a little more favorably? Favor ah favorably. That's the important thing. You stuck with your guns, and you should. Chat will always have its opinion. Everyone will always have their opinion. But when you're in charge of your own award show, hey, stick to your guns. Now that's a bit excessive. He mailed you an actual one. That's hilarious. Well, he and Jay do have some strong opinions. Alright. I've forgotten where I was going here. Oh, right. Okay. I was heading in that direction. And I will probably pick up with my mining. Looking for iron next week before I try to resume the new railroad. Well, to date, there's just one person from Massachusetts, from the Boston area, that I absolutely positively know and, or rather, respect, and a few others I know and would consider are as decent human beings. But I don't know. I'm a big R.A. Salvatore fan, and he's from, I think it's Cambridge or something like that, Massachusetts. I won't say a word. I can't say he won't sit there and, view this in YouTube or something and see what you said, but, I won't say a word. But he seems like a decent guy. Same with Jay, too. I never really get to interact with anybody these days. I feel like I'm always working all the time. And so, I never get to watch streams as much as I used to, or at least feel like I never get to. All the poor Burning Man. What a shame. Alright, there's a guy hiding under a tree over there. Hey. Get rid of that stack. Get rid of that stack. We'll go collect those bones and those arrows. I'm not always working. I just feel like I am. Though, honestly, I'm not working as hard as I probably should be. I take advantage of my job a lot. And my work ethic knows it. But I do work hard. My company preaches work-life balance. And in many cases, basically say, forget the job. It's only work. I've had my manager tell me that many times. But it's still kind of hard to just do that. My parents raised me as a conscientious employee. and sometimes it really gets in the way. I am not always working. I need to do my job better, frankly. But that's an argument for another day. So we're going to go ahead and call it quits here. And I'll be back on Thursday with Stardew Valley. And hopefully more conversations involving, work, stickies, celebrities who don't deserve it, and, other things like that. But in the meantime, I hope everyone has a great night, great day tomorrow, and I will see you all again soon. Good night.
I will be the last to fall. I won't shed a tear for them to see. And I won't have your name to call. 'Cause I will be the last to fall.